Hey there, everyone. So yeah, hey guys, we are on live right now. Welcome to another episode of Steven's NFL Podcast. Tonight we are discussing a lot of NFL stuff right now. We got a lot to talk about. We got Deshawn Watson, we got Russell Wilson, we got the Green Bay Packers QB situation, and we also got Richard Sherman and Zach Ertz. Man, there's a lot to discuss about. So yeah, we're gonna break down everything that's happened this week. I mean, seriously. So yeah, Aaron Rodgers did not show up for OTAs all this week, meaning Jordan Love is most likely going to be the QB week 1. Tighten up, what's up? If he doesn't show up to training camp, I mean, seriously, this could spell the end of This could spell the end of Aaron Rodgers' era, to be quite honest. I mean, seriously, Jordan Love could definitely be the starting QB next year. At this rate, man. I mean, Jordan Love definitely showed synchronicity with all the players, but if there's one thing Aaron Rodgers has, is some of the players' loyalties. Devontae Adams is one of them, to be quite honest. And now, Green Bay Packers, they are forcing themselves into up against the wall. But the GM says if they do that, that's a sign of cowardice, I think. Good. Yes. I mean, seriously. This is a lot to think about. Aaron, WTF. Tighten up. You really know how to make me crack. Yeah, I think this is a sign Aaron Rodgers might retire because there is no way in hell they're going to be able to trade him. Billy England, welcome. Tighten up, my friend. Well, you said it tight, like T-I-H-T. Boy, oh boy. So, yeah. Those Green Bay Packers, they definitely have, at least they're preparing for the future with Jordan Love. That's all we know. Meanwhile, Seattle Seahawks, by the way, Russell Wilson finally announced that he never wanted to get traded anyway from the start. He was just upset on how the offensive line went down. And he's probably looking forward to his new offensive coordinator. Because I think his old offensive coordinator could have been the problem. Watson just got traded to the Eagles per multiple reports. Packers go no way in hell that happened. That is a total lie. I can guarantee you that. Yeah. But we will be talking about Deshawn Watson. In fact, let's get on with Deshawn Watson, shall we? Guess who got in contact with Deshawn Watson? Broncos safety Kareem Jackson. And guess what? That could open up Denver Broncos as a potential trade partner should they change their minds. But I don't know what you're thinking. Why in the world? The guy has multiple charges going on. I mean, seriously, what the heck is wrong with these guys? But yeah, it looks like Denver Broncos could be a possible option for Deshaun Watson right now. Now, I mean, seriously, I could see Deshaun Watson going up against Patrick Mahomes once he's all cleared. is Watson getting traded? Mr. Weezer, we don't know yet, but we do know that that Denver Broncos could be a potential start. Devonna Hendler, bro, you look like you're on. But I think AJ Brown is better. For what source? Mr. Weezer, there were tons of reports about Deshaun Watson talking with Kareem Jackson and the potential of getting onto the Denver Broncos. It could be because even though they're stubborn, Deshaun Watson has a no trade clause. So, yeah, he can choose to go wherever he wants. And if he wants to go to Denver, he can force the Texans to do it. I believe the Titans are really good of winning the Super Bowl this year, at least going deep into the playoffs in the AFC Championship. What do you think? I think they are potentially Super Bowl winners already thanks to that Julio Jones trade, but you never know. You never know. So, yeah, this is going to be one heck of a season. But still, I wish the Houston Texans would stop being so stubborn. Janoris. I mean, seriously. Houston Texans already drafted Davis Mills. They're already dead set on starting Tyrod Taylor if Deshaun Watson is gone or suspended or chooses to opt out for the season. But, yeah, Deshaun Watson, he definitely has a no-trade clause, so if he wants to go to Denver, that could definitely be a possibility. You know what could make them change their mind? The lawsuits Deshaun Watson had. I mean, seriously, that could definitely make them change their minds. Okay, SM Ducky just brought up we need Richard Sherman. Well, here's the thing. We're going to break down what Richard Sherman just said. He wants to be on a championship team, and he's willing to wait a little while longer to find a team that's in the running for a championship. No matter how long it takes, he is willing to wait. That is what he said. I mean, seriously, Richard Sherman is willing to wait. Right now, there's Saints and his former teams, 49ers and Seahawks, in the running. We are a certified contender. Yeah, but can we afford Richard Sherman? I don't know. I'm looking at the NFC West this season. Yeah, because we got the Cardinals, Seahawks, Rams, 49ers. Basically, it's going to be one heck of a series. So, yeah, Richard Sherman is not in any rush. He will wait for a real contending team to sign up to get in the running. Richard Sherman says he's signing with the Bears this season. Donovan Handler, we don't have any sources about that. He said contender, and right now Richard Sherman, and right now Chicago Bears are not contenders. You tell him, Mr. Ducky. I mean, seriously. Richard Sherman is looking for a contender, which means he could look at the top 7 teams of each of the playoff teams from last season. He could look at the AFC teams. He could look at the NFC teams. I mean, seriously, he could seriously go to Los Angeles Rams for crying out loud. I mean, seriously, even if it means his third NFC West team. or he could be in the running and hoping to get a Super Bowl ring with the Super Bowl champs, the Buccaneers, or could possibly go to Kansas City. Who knows? All we know is that Richard Sherman is hoping to win this season. Richard Sherman wants to win this season. Browns always go 14-2 in Madden 21. And the Bull, I'm scared. You want to bet he's signing with the Bears because we're top 5 this year in the NFC because we had Justin Fields. Only good NFC teams are Seahawks, Rams, Bucks, Cardinals, and Packers. Well, Richard Sherman says he wants to win. He wants to be on a winning team, and right now these 4 teams are the potential teams that are going to be that could be in the running. The first one we all know, Seattle Seahawks. He could go back to Seattle. He's used to their defense. But if he's not going to Seattle, he could go to Cleveland, who, by the way, the Browns are definitely a force to be reckoned with. I can see Richard Sherman signing with them. I can see Richard Sherman signing over there. But if it's not Cleveland, it could be Buffalo. The Bills are the AFC runner-ups. They could be in the running. Or if not, or if he wants to stay in the NFC but does not want to stay in the West, he could go Green Bay Packers. I think Goonie has enough money for Richard Sherman. Even though he didn't have enough money for Julio Jones, he does have enough money for Richard Sherman. Sleazy Goonie. D, welcome. So yeah, I can see Richard Sherman being back in Seattle, or go to Cleveland, Buffalo, or Green Bay, because those are the 4 liable options for Richard Sherman when he wants to become a Super Bowl contending team. I mean, if Richard Sherman wanted to get it out of the way, he could have signed with Seattle. He could have re-signed with Seattle by now. Wait, maybe he's waiting for someone like Cleveland or Buffalo or Green Bay to knock on the door, to ring on the phone. Sherman to Rams or Cardinals is scary. You bet. But I think Cardinals already cashed in enough defensive players because they already got J.J. Watt from the Texans and, of course, Malcolm Butler from the Titans. Dang it, Cardinals. People are... Danny P., welcome. So, yeah, I think if Richard Sherman is going to go anywhere, it's going to be one of these 4 teams, either back in Seattle or off to Cleveland Browns, Buffalo Bills, or Green Bay Packers, because those are the 4 teams that are looking like contenders. But if Aaron Rodgers is off the table, then the Packers are out. But yeah, Cleveland Browns and Buffalo Bills are definitely going to be ones to be looking at if they're added on to Richard Sherman's free agency list. list because Cleveland Browns just pulled off the biggest comeback of the year. We already saw what they did to that defense. I mean, seriously, we saw what the Cleveland Browns did with that defense. They used their first 2 draft picks on Greg Newsome II, and they traded up for JOK. Dang it, Cleveland. Well, what do you expect? They were the stars of the show on draft night. I traded CMC, Nick Chubb, and Henry in Madden 21. The heck? Speaking of tradings, let's move on to a tight end we all know who could be traded or potentially released. Philadelphia Eagles tight end Zach Ertz. Now, re-signing Richard Rodgers confirms that Zach Ertz is going to be saying bye to Philadelphia. The question is, will it be by trade or by release? Release. But it does confirm that Zach Ertz could be an AFC tight end this year because the Julio Jones to the Tennessee Titans thing might inspire Philadelphia Eagles to do the same thing with Zach Ertz. Because if you can't trade him to an AFC team, you might as well release him. Dang it, Howie. Unfortunately, there were 3 potential teams in the running for Zach Ertz right now, and I'm going to break them all down from non-playoffs to playoffs. The only non-playoff team is the Los Angeles Chargers because guess what? They need a tight end to replace Hunter Henry, who signed with the New England Patriots people. Yeah. Justin Herbert definitely needs a tight end and the throw. And if Chargers think they can score Zach Ertz, good for them. The second team that's in the running is the Indianapolis Colts. They failed the Julio Jones sweepstakes, and now they're going to be in the running for Zach Ertz. Because they have the 2 people that they can get that can lure Zach Ertz to Indianapolis, and that's Carson Wentz and Frank Reed. AFC Eagles. Well, AFC Eagles. And finally, the third team. Jugs, you don't think the Chargers can make the playoffs? If you don't think the Chargers can make playoffs this season. I said that the Chargers didn't make the playoffs last year. I never said anything about not making it this year. It could still go either way. I just described from last year. Chargers did not make the playoffs last year. Chiefs lost Anthony Sherman, Sammy, and Breland. See, 13 wins or 12. And then finally, we move on to the third team, the Buffalo Bills, who are the AFC runner-ups. And believe me, Buffalo Bills, you got to be kidding me. They already got Stephon Diggs. Imagine giving Josh Allen Zach Ertz. Boy, oh boy, this is going to be a rough year. It could be Buffalo's time if they get Zach Ertz. So we better start praying. Start praying. Now I already know who I think is going to be in the running for Zach Ertz the most. I was wrong about the Julio Jones thing. I thought Patriots were going to get him, even though I wanted Tennessee Titans to get him. So screw that. I was off. So screw it. I was off. I should have kept the faith alive 100%. But this time, I am using my logic on Zach Ertz. To be quite honest, I think Zach Ertz is going to end up with the Buffalo Bills the most because they're the AFC runner-ups. They're the most likely to make the Super Bowl with one more piece, and that's going to be and that gives Zach then the reason to trade for Zach Ertz. Tighten up says Zach Ertz Chargers. To tell the truth, I'm praying that Chargers do take him because I do not want Zach Ertz in the AFC South if it's not the Titans, and I do not want Zach Ertz on a team that's most likely going to overthrow Titans' chances of making the Super Bowl. Buffalo Bills could be one of those teams that does that, and I do not like that one bit. But it could be most likely. The Bears make the Super Bowl within 3 years. They have to get used to Justin Fields first, though. And your starting QB this year one is Andy Dalton. Next year, we need RELE CBs in the draft. I'll tell you what we do need in the draft next year, a linebacker if Rashad Evans leaves. Not like it matters. We already got enough linebackers. David Long, Monty Rice, and tight end. Unless we can get a tight end now. Right now. But still, what are the odds we do that? No, it's not. They say they would put him as starter for Dalton, but did not put it on the contract for him. Yeah, but here's the thing. They said Andy Dalton is going to be the starter week 1. He's going to have to earn his keep. Justin Fields is going to have to earn his keep. Chargers did lost Hunter Henry. They lost him to New England. Henry, did you seriously think Jonnu Smith was the only tight end Patriots signed this year? I mean, seriously, they're building a double duo of tight ends this year for Cam Newton or Mac Jones. Although Hunter Henry did get injured this week, but he'll probably be back up and running by then, before the season. I mean, seriously, New England Patriots have done a lot to try and get back to who they were before Tom Brady left. Why Mac Jones got to wear 50, man? It's his practice uniform. They're still working on the official uniform. It's not like Mac Jones is going to be 50 forever. At least not by jersey number. They changed there as soon as we drafted Justin Fields, and they got rumors from inside the Bears camp saying Justin Fields is starter week 1. Justin Fields has to earn his keep. Because right now Andy Dalton is the starter. There's no. don't even bother dealing with this guy. Anyways, yeah, Patriots, they've done a lot so far. They already snatched Jonnu Smith from the Titans. They snatched Matt Judon from the Patriots. They snatched Hunter Henry from the Chargers. And they are about to get Dante Hightower back this year. My God, they're about to become a force to be reckoned with. You can look up Justin Fields starter week 1. If that's true, then they should have announced it by now. They should have announced it, but I guess they're going to have to wait a little while longer because right now they only told us Andy Dalton is starter week 1. That's how it goes to free agent Zukas Hippodo is signing with Falcons. No, nice try. Mike Oxlong, welcome. Thank you. I am very glad to be doing glad to see you. I'm glad to be doing it live. I know everything about the Bears. We are starting Fields week 1. We are still going to have to wait a little while longer. We're still going to have to wait a little while longer. We still got training camp to do. Everything can change. So, yeah, you could be right. Justin Fields could earn that spot before then, but right now the field's mostly on Andy Dalton right now. But still, anything could change, Donovan. I'm not going to complain about this. Yeah, no, Titans got Julio. It was one of the biggest moments in Titans history, and and he's wearing number 2 this year. And they're now the team that's going to make the Super Bowl, or at least the AFC Championship. They say that because of what they've seen in training camp. They've seen in training camp is what debris on the Titans. He will be ready to go. He will be ready to go once it's training camp time. Once it is training camp, we could see Bud Dupree out on the field. Because we will have. because he's going to have to practice eventually. And so will Caleb Farley. But still, these guys have to be totally rested for the real deals. They just survived OTAs. They're about to head to mandatory minicamp. Then there's the training camp. Well, training camps, here's the thing. Cowboys and Steelers start first because they got the Hall of Fame game to look forward to. Then the Buccaneers go after them because they got the first game of the year because of being Super Bowl contenders. And then everyone else starts training camp afterwards. When mandatory minicamp. It is possibly in a few days. It is going to be a few days. Most likely a Tuesday. We're already started training camp. No, we already started mandatory minicamp. No, we already started mandatory minicamp. Training camp doesn't start until July. Training camp starts in July, but Cowboys, Steelers, and Buccaneers will start ahead of the other 29 teams because of that Hall of Fame game and the Buccaneers starting week 1. And the Cowboys are their opponents. Cowboys and Steelers will be hosting the Hall of Fame game, which is why they will get ahead of head. So yeah, it's going to be Cowboys and Steelers getting the head start, then Buccaneers after that, and then everyone else starts training camp. That's how it goes because, yeah, Cowboys and Steelers, they have the Hall of Fame game. Buccaneers, they have the first game of the year, being Super Bowl contenders, and they are hosting Cowboys. And the other 29 teams will be following them after that. And that's basically how it go. And that's basically how the training camp's gonna go. We still have some teams that are still going into mandatory minicamp next week. We already have a few teams going through mandatory minicamp already. We already know Houston Texans mandatory minicamp is canceled. And so is San Francisco 49ers as well. Those two were the select few teams to cancel mandatory minicamp. And I think we all know why Houston's was canceled. Deshaun Watson's situation, but they think it's because the entire team did a good job during the OTAs. I mean, seriously. We all still have a long way to go. And that training camp starts in July, and then the preseason starts August. Before we head to the regular season in September. Yes, I do, Donovan Handler. Thank you, SM Ducky. Thank you. Fields went to the Bears. We see the QB situation. Chicago traded up to get Justin Fields. That's probably the reason why he ended up with Chicago. Exactly. We still have to wait till training camp to see if Justin Fields will prove the experts wrong, because right now they are saying Andy Dalton is the starter because, yeah, they signed Andy Dalton before drafting Justin Fields. And trust me, Andy Dalton did deserve it because, yeah, he was the backup QB when Dak Prescott was out for the rest of the year. Andy Dalton filled in a lot of filled in some big shoes. When the New York Giants took down Dak Prescott, who was there to take over as the Cowboys QB? Andy Dalton. That's who. Who led Bengals to the playoffs? Andy Dalton. That's who. No, because he didn't have to sign a rookie contract yesterday to the Bears. He could have been a free agent, but he did sign his rookie contract. That's how it all goes down. That's how it all goes down. You never know who could be the QB for the Chicago Bears. But there is a positive note, Donovan. Your team got the Sunday Night Football game, the first Sunday Night Football game of the year. Well, Cowboys and Buccaneers are the first game of the year, but still, it's a Thursday night game, not a Sunday night game. So yeah, your team got the first Sunday night game of the year. And against the Los Angeles Rams team whose QB is the same QB you dealt with twice a year, Matthew Stafford. And the Rams are really looking forward to giving him all the reinforcements he can get. Dealing with Stafford on the Rams is going to be very different than dealing with Stafford on the Lions. Guess which receivers Matthew Stafford gets to work with. Cooper Kupp, for instance. Robert Woods, Deshawn Jackson. I already know who's going to be starting for us because I'm a Bears-loving fan. It's going to be Fields as a starter. The Browns are going to win the Super Bowl. Mike Oxlong. But we all have to. I hate to say this, but it's time we turn this all off and focus on one game at a time. Mike Oxlong, who does Cleveland Browns have week 1? The Kansas City Chiefs. Cleveland Browns have a Kansas City Chiefs team to deal with week 1. And no offense, but you're going to have to knock Patrick Mahomes harder than what you did back in the playoffs. But luckily, luckily that defense is ready to go. I think you can knock Patrick Mahomes early. You should be lucky that you got Kansas City out of the way week 1. That you get Kansas City out of the way week 1. Meanwhile, Titans don't get him until week 7. Browns will beat the Chiefs harder than they beat the tight ones last year. Still, you guys probably lost that game because you used up most of your energy on the Pittsburgh Steelers. What was the score of that first quarter again? 28-0? In the first quarter, that is 28-0. I mean, seriously, I did that game. Browns were totally destroying the Steelers that game. And they probably used up a lot of their energy that game, which led to a close game with Kansas City. But still, I think Cleveland Browns proved that they could be that they could be in the running for a Super Bowl. The only problem is Baker Mayfield really the quarterback that's ready to go? I mean, seriously. Because the defense can't run itself. I mean, seriously, Titans and Browns are like opposites last year. The defense did most of the work for Cleveland, while Titans offense had to do most of the work on their end. But still, there were some games Baker Mayfield might have gotten powerful, but still, whenever you think you were 14, you run. Still, I think the team that should be scared right now, based on last year's playoffs, the team that's most likely going to be scared is Green Bay because they don't know about the Aaron Rodgers situation, about what's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers. That's the team that's most likely going to be scared. Plus, they got the entire AFC North to deal with. Anyways, that's all for today, and I'll see you all next time.